This is Battlefield 5, one of the best games I played in the last year and also one of the worst. For every incredible moment I've had with this game, there's been an equal part of frustration or even outright anger at the game's development, at the lack of features, at the empty promises made by the developers, the delayed content, and the constant patches and fixes that come at the expense of absurd new problems and complications. The latest of which is being completely unable to join a friend's match. Yes, you heard that right. When I click join game next to a friend in this multiplayer game, it doesn't work. It either does nothing or it joins the party but fails to join the player's server. This problem has been going on for a month, and as far as I know, it affects every platform. Can you imagine if this happened to Apex Legends or Call of Duty? If you were unable to play with your friend in something like Rocket League? Can you imagine the backlash and how pissed off the player base would be? Well, the only reason this is still going on in Battlefield is because the community is so used to dealing with bugs that having such a core function of a multiplayer game not work is nothing new, and knowing it won't get fixed straight away is also part of the Battlefield experience. But Battlefield 5 isn't a free-to-play game. This isn't a new game by some unknown studio. This is a $60 game from a studio with nearly 2 decades of making the game that's not Call of Duty. And unlike the title would suggest, it's not even the 5th game in the series. It's the 14th one, or maybe even the 19th one, depending on how you count spin-offs and other releases. It is truly outstanding how far this franchise has fallen. And here's the thing, I've been playing Battlefield for around 18 years. And Battlefield 5 should be, in some way, the pinnacle of the franchise. The graphics and the sounds are incredible, the gunplay is some of the best that it's ever been, and it is still one of the only games out there with tanks, airplanes, boats, and infantry all sharing the same common space, and they are all well done and fun to use. However, none of that matters because the amount of bugs and other problems that this game has had since launch has made this one big cruel joke. It's like having some of the best pizza that you've ever had, but knowing that when you eat it, you will get diarrhea. Other games like Fallout 76 or Anthem have had a couple of notable problems like matchmaking issues, lack of content, morphed character models, or even items disappearing from your inventory. But here's what Battlefield 5 players have gone through since launch. There was a widespread bug that made some of the players invisible. There's a bug that's been going on since launch where you die but you can't respawn, forcing you to exit the server and reconnect. Players have also been unable to earn the in-game currency used to unlock weapon upgrades for months. The weapon balance was changed to make pretty much every weapon underpowered, I guess in some misguided attempt to make the game friendlier for new players. And after a month of massive community backlash, the changes were reverted, and the developers vowed never to do that again. Of course, a year later, they did exactly that. There was also Firestorm, which was a separate Battle Royale mode, which was actually fairly good, but failed to get any traction because it was buried behind a $60 game. Vehicle customization, which was promised at launch and is now in the game, was missing from the game for over a year. Maps have been delayed, map rotations and special events are limited due to the icons that the menu has. Yes, that is not a joke. The amount of content they can deliver at any given time is limited by the menu design. Audio was broken for about a month, which led you to occasionally hearing a loud plane throughout an entire match when there was obviously none, and matchmaking will very often put you in an empty server after waiting for several minutes. Oh, and there is no server balancing, so if your team loses and 15 people leave, you might start a match of 17 against 32 until more people join in, but by then you're already at a massive disadvantage and you will probably also lose, repeating the same thing over and over. I'm probably missing like 20 other small issues and around 2 or 3 big ones, but you get the point. Battlefield 5 is a disgrace to the Battlefield franchise. This is the textbook example of how games as a service can go wrong when neither the team nor the game's engine and development are ready for it. And it makes me really sad. I really like this game, but most of all, I love the Battlefield games. They are by far the games that I've played most of in my entire life. I still play online with friends that I made 15 years ago playing Battlefield 1942, a game that had both more content and less problems than Battlefield 5. They've announced that they won't be making a Battlefield game this year, so the next one is supposed to come out in 2021, but with the development problems that the virus is creating, I wouldn't be surprised if it's delayed to 2022. At this point, I really don't know what they could do to return the franchise to its former glory. They would have to somehow show an unprecedented level of development, launching with as many different full-scale maps as they can, and with advanced customization options. Or who knows, maybe their only viable option right now would be to go free to play and monetize it some other way instead of it being a $60 game. Nobody cares about the campaign anyway, and it's maybe the only way to get players to get interested in the game after the absolute disaster that this game has been. So, that will be all for now. If you're playing Battlefield 5, please leave a comment down below and tell me what your experience has been and if you would recommend this game. I don't know if I would. It's really good and I have a lot of fun with it, but the amount of problems it has, it is just, not for everybody. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. My next videos are probably going to be on Final Fantasy VII, so stick around for that. Once again, thanks for watching and I will catch you in the next one.